Hello. Here's my crowd. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if you see everyone, but it's 5. Okay. And here are my note cards. 4. Okay. And then I have my stuff. Okay. So, ready. Okay. Have you ever had a terrible day? Do you ever think that the day can't possibly get any worse? Don't you wish in those moments you were shown a random act of kindness? We have all been through those bad times. There may be some people who haven't had a bad day in a long time, but there's no denying the fact that not every day is a great one. I've recently started watching the news and social media outlets that show terrible events going on in the world today. And the stories that make the bad ones better are the ones where you see people really bring out humanity and show love for one another. So, acts of kindness can change someone else's day, make yourself feel better, and even change society as a whole. And here is my slide called Random Acts of Kindness. So, many people around the world are going through rough times. At any point in time, 3 to 5% of adults suffer from depression. 15.7 million adults had experienced at least one episode of depression in 2014, that coming from ADAA in 2016. There are so many TV shows and documentaries that highlight depression and sadness in our world today. I watched one recently called Audrey and Daisy on Netflix, and it was just pretty much about how rough it is to be a teenager in America today and all that comes with being sad and how you deal with it, and it was a very inspiring show. You should definitely watch it. On my slide, I have this chart, and it was a poll taken between girls and boys, and at least 20% of all of the girls had reported symptoms and unhealthy behaviors, such as feeling irritable and angry and tired and skipping a meal or change in appetite just by the fact that they were in school and dealing with their lives. We all have these days in gloominess and being sad. So another fact is that gloom can quickly transfer from one another to all of those around us. For example, if your mom comes home from a bad day of work and you forgot to do a small task that she asked you, she could easily get more irritated and take that anger out on you, and then you could go into another room and be in a bad mood towards a sibling or a friend, and this pattern just sort of cycles throughout people throughout the day. As working people, we forget to relax. School stress is far too great. During the school year, teens report higher stress than working adults that took the same poll in the same time period, as according to Bethune in 2014. And this just shows we need to slow down, focus more on others, and relax. This may start to sound like a lot to take in, but don't worry, there is a way to change. There are so many things you can do to make somebody else's day better. You can try to do these simple things. You can give a stranger a smile, compliment somebody's outfit. The New York Times wrote an article called 15 Ways to be a Better Person, and in their list they named smiling at babies and being generous to those who have helped you as top priorities in their list that would make you a happier person, as according to Streisman in 2016. Kindness is not something that comes with a price tag. One of the most satisfying parts of giving is the lack of money involved, truly. It's free. You don't have to give anything, really, to make somebody else happy. The ironic part of the phrase paying it forward is also interesting, because you're not actually giving money, but you're paying part of yourself to someone else. So I also recently read an article that talked about this woman named Sandy Mon, and she was quoted saying, "The idea is to create a chain reaction, a domino effect." And what she did is when she got her coffee one day, she paid for the person behind her, And what that created was a day's long worth of the person behind her paying and the person behind them paying. And it was really cool, very interesting. And I got that from the BBC in 2015. Now imagine if you kept these random acts of kindness up, like on a daily basis. Let's take a second to think about if you'd done that small task for your mom before she got home from her bad day of work. She would take solace in the fact that you are competent and you respect her enough to do as she says. Her mood will shift from being down to being warm and grateful for you. According to Forbes, research has found that managers who show appreciation for their employees are more likely to get those same employees to go the extra mile, as according to Worrell in 2013. And here's a slide right here, and it just shows the difference between successful and unsuccessful people, and the top priority is people who get compliments are the more successful people, and the more that criticize are unsuccessful. So imagine telling even a street performer that their music is great and you make their day better. Bruce Willis used to have a speech impediment, and he said that it wasn't until he was encouraged by friends and family for him to overcome his fear and go after his dream of becoming an actor. You'll feel amazing. Just picture it. Scientists have found that people who participate in meaningful activities are happier than people who seek out activities or they just look for pleasure, as according to Winner in 2017. I know my favorite part of my favorite act of giving was when I used to volunteer in high school at Sam's Ministry, where I would just babysit kids while their parents were out working. So I've laid down the tracks, and now you guys have to take the wheel. Also, here is Bruce Willis. Picture of Bruce Willis. You guys have to take the wheel. As you can see, it doesn't cost you anything to be kind. I'm not telling you to be the next Mother Teresa, but maybe just the happy neighbor next door. As Aibileen Clark says in The Help, you is smart, you is kind, and you is important. And that's her saying it there. You never know whose life you're going to change, and you never know when that day will come. Now let's make that day today. Thank you. And here is my audience. Okay. And my flashcards. And thank you.